Levittown.
Where are you from originally?
Ben Salem, Bucks County. Been here my whole life.
Were you born here?
Yes.
Okay. And so, tell me your story, like, what's going on?
Uh, about a year and a half ago, I had a stroke. My family's dead. They've been dead a long time. I've never been married, never had children, so I always worked. I had a stroke and was unable to work anymore and couldn't pay the rent and ended up here.
Where were you living when you couldn't pay the rent?
I had a room in Bristol Borough that I rented. That's all I've really ever done the last 35, 40 years. I've always rented a room or a small apartment. I always had a roof over my head. I always had a job. You know, I kept things pretty simple.
What kind of work did you do?
I worked in warehouses. I worked a little construction. I've done a little bit of restaurant work. You know, I spent a couple years in the restaurant business.
So you've pretty much been making it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just dead end, low level, you know, laboring jobs. You know, whatever paid the bills. You know.
What do you think about living in Bucks?
It was a great place to grow up. When I grew up in Ben Salem in the 70s and early 80s, it was a great place. Like it was, I don't know. Nobody bothered me. Nobody bothered you. It was the cops. I mean, there weren't many. The cops weren't any problem, and it's just it's definitely not what it used to be. It costs a lot of money to live here anymore. You know, like I could never possibly afford a one-bedroom apartment even when I was working. I don't have no $1,400 or $1,600 a month in utilities and the credit rating. Like I said, I've always just rented a room. I usually in somebody, you know, elderly looking for a little extra income and rent a room, and you know, I cut the grass, take out the trash, do, you know, and pay $100 or $120 a week, and you're only making $300 or $350 a week. That's, you know, it's manageable.
No utilities.
Yeah, they just include everything, you know, and yeah, and that's going now. I had to apply for disability, and I don't know when or if that's ever going to come through. You know, I had a stroke. It took a lot of my motor function, like a lot of my balance. And I had a couple of heart attacks too. So I'm here, and the clock's ticking, and
What do you mean the clock is ticking?
I came in July the 27th. There's supposed to be a 60-day shelter. I've got an extension, but applying for disability benefits or SSI benefits, it's a whole long process. They can reject you. You have to go back to square one, because I tried about 6-7 years ago when I had my first heart attack. So after 90 days, I don't know how long. Some people have been here a little longer. I'm going to be gone. You know, there's no place for me to go after